The enemy has taken the facility.
Soldier down.
Purge the enemy! Silence their wails! Give them death! Slaughter the traitors!
Hey guys, it's Merrick, and I've got another gameplay commentary for you today. I was actually working on practicing with the Naginata because somebody had requested one and I figured I'd work on that, and I just had a surprisingly good session. So this is actually pulled straight from stream, meaning you're going to hear in-game Merrick and occasionally the recursion tracker. But for the loadout, I'm on NC and I'm running the Naginata. I'm swapping back and forth between the Decimator and the Hawk, which is just their generic air lock-on launcher, and I'm running pretty much my standard Adrenaline Shield, Nade Bando / munitions, and then anti-vehicle nade. Implants, I'm running Assimilate and Survivalist, which are pretty standard for me. I also use Sensor Shield a lot, but it depends on what you're trying to do. Survivalist is if you're intending to be shot at a lot and you need the extra rotation and potentially some of the heal. Sensor Shield is much better if you're flanking. I intended to play in the middle of the fight kind of a bit this one, but I wound up being on the outskirts, so Sensor Shield actually probably would have been the better choice today. But this video is going to be a little shorter than some of the other ones, so now that the paperwork's out of the way, let's just jump right into it.
If you saw a giant squid and you didn't know what it was, the first thing you think is that it would be able to fucking rail your boat.
Starting off at Aurora Material Labs, my session is just starting and I don't really have a solid plan yet, so my entire plan is just to run until I find somebody and then try to take a decent angle and get fights. We had a brief engagement there where someone peeked the doorway and I actually had to go into the L shape here, which is probably the better approach path anyway, but like I said, I was kind of on autopilot and just trying to get to the fight. Considering that guy was brave enough to peek the doorway before, I kind of wait for an eventual re-peek, assuming at some time he's going to try to do it again. And I actually try to go over to the other doorway before I see somebody shooting, and it changes my mind. I feel like I can get a fight on this doorway, so I come back over to this one. I actually think he pushes into the left corner, so I naded to check him out.
There's no way he's in that corner, right?
I have to fall off the doorway because there's a guy pressuring me from the roof, and I actually push inside because I don't want to hang on the doorway and have that guy shoot me. Actually, a blue drop lands on the roof and would have cleared him up for me, so I didn't need to make this push, but hey, I didn't know that at the moment. I hug the right wall as I'm pushing up because this server is going to provide me with cover, and it gives me the perfect thing to use to create a tight angle with the other server. I'm able to get up a pick there, and then I try to look a little farther out and see what else I can find. I should wait for everything to be up, obviously, but as I kind of edge out here, I don't see anybody except for the guy that I was waiting to pick off over the server, and I'm confident in my aim, so I go for it. But there's a res that happens, the guy on the server gets back up, and a few more people that show up in the middle of the walkway, and they really put me out of position, and I try to take the fight instead of rotating off, when I potentially could have gotten a few more kills out of the situation. I push back in, only to catch a shotgun to the face to be finished off by a scout rifle that is actually at an off angle and hits me in the shoulder, so I didn't even see him. And when I run back up again, I actually decide just to take the other doorway. Literally the entirety of the pressure is on that door, so coming over this way means I should be able to get at least 1 or 2 pickups for free before they even realize I'm here. And that's even if they respect or respond to me. I keep pushing really hard because I'm on a clock, both because we've lost the point and they're going to be spawning behind me, and the more people I can pick up before they realize I'm here, the easier it's going to be to deal with the people that know that I'm here. I wind up pushing in and getting taken out by a late peek, which should have been expected due to tempo, but like I said, I'm pushing really hard because I feel like I'm on the clock. Them peeking out like that isn't actually something that you shouldn't expect and should have been ready for, but I didn't think there were going to be 2, both of which were looking at me, and I was on the clock. As I get over to Rhyme Analytics though, it looks like this double stack is collapsing, and I try to get in and get the kills that I can. I try to make an initiative-based play, getting the kill on this guy and then trying to push the stairs while they're going for the res and out of order. This was kind of my idea because I figured they were all in cubby, but it doesn't work out because somebody does respond, and while I think I might have won that fight, my teammate just puts me down because, you know, live free in the NC and all that. But getting back up, I push down to the bottom of the stairs and I try to take the fight here. In the moment, I was actually just on autopilot, kind of just trying to take fights and keep pushing. I didn't realize that the spawn room is there, so as soon as I see it, I back off because I absolutely hate people who just sit and stare at spawn rooms. As I land at the amp station, the first thing I see is point C on my map, so I head off that way. But I see somebody just, you know, sightseeing on the way. I send him on his way before continuing towards the point, and I actually see that there's a beacon up. Because I know that means there's going to be more people coming in, I just huckanaded it. I'm looking down at the bottom of my screen, hoping to see the beacon kill, and someone peeks the doorway. I disengage and then immediately re-peek, because if there's more than one person in there, they're going to be coming out after me. Quiz time. What's on the other side of this wall, and why? Well, there are a handful of potential answers, but the most obvious one should be, where the hell did that guy go earlier after he peeked us? He saw me jump behind the wall and then wasn't there when I repeaked. Why would that be? Alternatively, you have to also keep in mind, what if he has teammates? I already mentioned they could be coming out that side, so there should be one, if not multiple people. Because of how fast he rotated, I expected him on the doorway, and as I walk around this corner, he's a lot closer. I managed to barely win the fight, but I'm actually killed by that guy that I killed while he was sightseeing because I didn't track the respawn. Running back to push the point again, I forget how to aim and let 2 people survive, and then as I try to rotate off, I just get picked off for free.
Who the fuck
is even tagging me? Oh. Arriving at Pale Canyon, I see that there's absolutely somebody in one of these buildings because there's a handful of dead people, so as soon as I push outside, I'm looking left and right. Thankfully, it shows me a light assault that's trying to fall back, and I get a free pickup. But I know there's still one on the roof because I can see him on the minimap, so I try to take a wide angle to kill him, and it actually forces him on the other side where a teammate is able to pick him up. And then, after all those smart things, my brain is on cooldown, and I try to take a long-range fight after I've initially figured out that I can't fucking aim. Running back in, I see an infiltrator trying to run up on me, and I'm able to take him out, but as soon as I get into there, a whole blue-ass drop drops on this point, and all the fun is gone. But I get to go to a containment site, which is my favorite. As I always say, I'm not stuck in the containment site with them, they're stuck in the containment site with me. As I'm running down to the point, I get flanked by an infiltrator, and I kinda take it personally. After commissionering him down, and staring him in the eyes as he passes on to the other side, I know exactly what I must do.
He's gonna respawn there.
And we wait.
Stabilized.
Did I need to do that? No. It's about sending a message. As I continue on, I'm actually almost to point C when I hear fighting on my right. It's not at me, so I turn and join from the flank.
Fear me. Slay the heretics! We are the bringers of death! Let none part.
Unfortunately, I was using my feet for part of that, and I forgot how to lead, but we still got a good return as they were trying to fall back off of their resonade. But I see a red dot on the radar, and I'm expecting it to be our infiltrator friend, so I turn around and wait for him just to see that it's somebody on a different floor. I tag this guy as he's going by, and I wait for the repeak. A lot of people will just immediately repeak for some reason. When he doesn't, I kind of look to the other side of the doorway to see if he is running off so I can have an idea of what to do, and he repeaks at an off timing. Good play, but I wind up still picking up the kill. Unfortunately, it puts me in a terrible position, and 2 people just run the fuck up on me.
I don't have any shield left.
Does anybody have any lunch money? I move over to Crystal Ridge Comare, a base I barely ever fight at, and I just kind of run out of the base towards the point because I'm not used to this base. I don't really know what to expect or where to go. I see some aggressively positioned red, and I try to push up and assist with taking them out. I don't really have a good gauge of if we're winning or losing this point because I just don't know what the hell's going on. It looks like there's dead people everywhere, but I don't see red everywhere where people are dead, so I'm really having a hard time figuring out what's going on. As I get up onto point, though, all those red people come right back as their respawn wave happens. I get tagged from above, and I don't really know where it is. I look around like an idiot trying to find him, but as I push around this corner, a resonade goes off. I make a judgment call to kill the guy who threw it first versus the guy that stands up. I'm able to get both, and then I immediately start looking around the other side because game sense dictates if I'm being pushed, they're not just gonna push one side. But I run out of bullets, and somebody drops on me for a free kill. Once I get back up, I push back out, and I don't really see anybody directly in front of me, so I'm kind of creeping, trying to see if I can't get a good flank, and as soon as I find one, someone flies around the corner, and I'm not able to respond in time. As I'm pushing back up, I see someone out of position, and I'm able to get a free kill, but we also saw the guy on that pillar around the corner. We saw his shoulder. As I push up to get him, someone else picks up the kill, but I see this infiltrator, and I'm just going to let in-game me take the mic and explain what happens.
He just ran in a fucking circle around that until people saved him, dude. I hate
pushing back up. I try to get as many kills as I can any way that I can because it's very obvious we're not going to be able to hold this point. I know they're all going to push, so I jump into this building to try to find someone. There's no one there, but it gives me the perfect opportunity to use the server and shuffle around to force fights into individual engagements and allow me to get the most I can get out of this.
Death to the enemy! Stamp them out!
Moving over to Steel Shore Reconstruction, however, my team is overpopped and we're not able to really get out onto the point, so I actually rotate around and try to find kills on the side. I was going for the side, but I wound up running this infill, and it makes me reconsider, and I decide to take this tower. I got a few free pickups on people that weren't expecting me, and then I'm able to have a nice height advantage to take on people that are rotating into the fight. So my basic goal now is just to hold this position, keep an eye on my ass, and try to get pick-offs where I can. I'm gonna let this play out, there's not much else to commentate because I'm just getting picks, but I did have to cut out a segment where I was watching the elevator because, well, nothing happened. I just felt like I should mention it because I did say I was keeping track of myself and covering my ass, but I didn't actually show it. Every time you get a few kills, you should make sure to check the elevator so that you don't just get free murdered. As I rotate over to Haven Outpost, it actually looks like an absolute travesty because it's like a 75-25, but Mama didn't raise no bitch, and this is just the only fight that really got my attention. Anyway, I get really unlucky as I jump over right into somebody peeking me, and I just catch a free death to start this off. But that actually gave enough time for some people to start rotating in. We went from a 75-25 to a 60-40, and I hope it's going to keep evening out. I catch someone coming out of the door, and I try to check the stairs. As soon as I believe they're clear, I go to un-ADS, and 2 people peek out and take me out for free. Really unfortunate timing. But I'm able to get a res, and I try to continue the fight, only to see that there is now a vehicle out trying to prevent all of gameplay from happening. Yay. I throw an anti-vehicle nade at it and try to get a decimator, but I don't know who hurt this thing. But it turns out that anti-vehicle nade is exactly enough, and then I'm freed up to take more peeks into this doorway.
Fuck that guy in particular.
But because people need crutches to get kills, there's actually a harasser with a bulldog spamming the doorway because bad players are bad, so I rotate to the other door. But as I jump over this wall, I happen to see somebody on the edge of the container, so I wait for him to come around, and when he doesn't, I just go push him. As I go to fight him, I actually catch somebody else off guard who is also not expecting any pressure here, and I just get a free kill. I expect this doorway to be completely undefended because there's nobody over here and there's no pressure coming in this way, but when I peek in, I have never been more fucking wrong in my life. With both doorways off limits, I just climb up the side of the wall and try to push from the balcony. I know this building is incredibly hot, so I'm just trying to take any individual fights and any, tight angles that I can. I know that if I get a decimator on that guy waiting on that corner, it's a free kill, but because somebody should push me when the decimator goes down as I try to reload it, I just rotate around to the other window. I probably hold this position a little too long, but I really blame the fact that this is an icy ledge, and people need to really take care of their homes. I should be able to sue for this, honestly. I die before I'm able to get comfortable again, and then the point is actually ending, so I rotate back to a containment site, and before I'm even down the hallway out of spawn, I'm seeing more people. After killing the potential spawn lickers, there's actually nobody on point, and I'm able to keep pushing as I run out towards the main center of the base. I don't know if I'm going to go to point C yet or go up to the ramp, but when I run into pressure, I just stop here to start to sort it out. I also see somebody around this corner on the minimap, but I only see the one, so I overcommit expecting to catch him off guard, and he has a buddy. There's a little bit of light pressure, it's kind of everywhere, but there's not enough people to really pressure the entire containment site at once, so seeing a spawn on the outside, I take it, and we begin the flank. It actually looks like they're just completely losing control of the fight, and they're going to get pushed off soon, so I actually help take down the Sunderer before cleaning up everybody that's here to bring this video to a close. We wind up at 62 kills in 22 minutes, because if you look back at the beginning of my session, I actually had 2 minutes where I was AFK as I was setting up. This video was a lot shorter, so I had to slow down some segments so that I could actually get any meaningful commentary in, but please let me know what you think, let me know what you do and don't like, let me know what you would like to see, so I can make these better going forward. Thank you guys for the support, and I'll see you next time.